Sometimes it seems, talking to so many people during the week, that life is just overwhelming. They're overburdened, they're pressed down, pulled apart, sometimes torn apart, and for so many it seems like God is just absent from their lives. Where are you? Where are you, Lord, in my life? And I think sometimes, like Lazarus, there's this barrier between the reality of our life and the new day that God promises. And somehow we just can't make that jump from the experience of our life and that promise of God. And it will say, and people, they come to you, and you know that they're suffering. You know that they're in pain. And you know they're in pain at the gut level. And like in the responsorial song, it says, out of the depths I cry to you, Lord, hear my voice. And you hear the people cry. Can you hear that? And I'll bet you even some of us do. But what can God do? One of my favorite passages is the first reading from Ezekiel. Because Ezekiel puts it right on the line of what God will do. O my people, I will open your graves and have you rise from them. I will put my spirit in you so that you may live. We listen to those words. It's a promise of God. He says, in fact, he says, I promise it, I will do it. I will put this spirit in you so that you may live beyond anything you ever imagined. Right here in this world. And so Jesus spent his whole life inviting people out of the tomb. He asked them to tear the bindings away. And we should help each other tear those bindings away. We need to be able to leave the darkness and step into the light and come forth. And then he says to us, don't be afraid. But so often we find ourselves locked in the tomb of our past mistakes, our past failures, the past moments of our lives that somehow we don't seem to be able to let go of. And it's just so easy to give up. This past week, our Holy Father, on Monday morning in his homily, a powerful homily, speaking to the Christian people, speaking of the attitudes that keep people bound to their sins. So I share these with you, and I hope that I can share these with the same passion that he did. He says, a man or a woman who feels sick in their soul, sad, who have made many mistakes. How many times today in Christian communities do they find the door shut? He says, but you can't. No, you cannot enter. You have made a mistake and you can't enter. And then he says, if you want to come, you can go to Mass on Sunday, but stay there, sit there. You can't do anything else. And that which the Holy Spirit does in the person is destroyed by Christians with the psychology of the doctors of the law. The Holy Father went on to say that he is saddened by this attitude, stressing that the church is the house of Jesus. And Jesus not only received those who enter into here, into the church, but goes out searching for them. And if the people are wounded, what does Jesus do? Does he reproach them because they are wounded? No. He comes and carries them upon his shoulders and this is called mercy. And when Jesus reproaches his people, what does he say? I want mercy, not sacrifice. Pope Francis reminds us not to commit the same mistake by denying Jesus' love toward those wounded solely because it is contrary to the law. Our Holy Father says, let us ask the Lord for a conversion toward Jesus, a conversion to Jesus, a conversion to the mercy of Jesus. And thus the law will be filled completely, because the law is to love God and our neighbor as ourselves. This should be what Christ the servant parish is all about. The mercy of God extended to every single one, to all those who are wounded, all those who are wounded who don't feel like they can walk through this door, all those who are wounded that somehow over the years have felt abandoned by God or left behind. We need to help people lead them out of the tomb and call them out of that tomb. Because when Jesus shows up, the script of our lives is totally changed, both for us and for others. The tombs of our self-making, the obstacles, the fears, the limitation of our lives that hold us are open wide, and a new day begins.